Okay, we're going to step out of our lane here a little bit. Classic American Cinema is going to present Pittsburgh's hidden movie palace. Let's get a little history first. Henry Clay Frick was a steel and coke magnate in western Pennsylvania in the early 1900s. He decides that he wants to build the Union Arcade in downtown Pittsburgh. He clears the ground, gets about a city block, and commissions architect F.J. Osterling. Now, Osterling's already famous for Pittsburgh's only skyscraper at the time, the Arrett Building. He's also done the Washington County Courthouse and many renovations to the Frick Mansion. Construction for the Union Arcade takes place between 1914 and 1915. And this is the building as it appears today, sitting proudly on Grant Street in downtown Pittsburgh, declared a National Historic Landmark in January of 1974, and quickly becomes one of our most treasured and iconic locations. Now, Pittsburgh has its share of beautiful theaters. We have the Stanley, which became Benedum Center. We had Lowe's Penn, which became Heinz Hall. We had the Gaiety, which became the Fulton, and then the Byam. We also have the Harris, which sits on Liberty Avenue. But it's important to remember at this point that none of these buildings were even a thought when the construction of the Union Arcade was taking place in the early 1900s. Now, among many, many other things, the Union Trust is widely recognized for its beautiful central rotunda. But on its upper floors is the reason for our visit. Welcome to Henry Frick's personal and private theater. Now, at the time, Mr. Frick was a rather controversial figure, and the reason that he had the theater built into the building was so that he could have plays brought to him from all over the country, rather than him going out to plays. And with that in mind, Frederick Osterling goes on to design a 338-seat theater that would rival any movie palace built in Pittsburgh for the next 50 years. Now, despite the lack of a concession stand or a ticket booth, there is a projection booth in the balcony. But before we get to the balcony, we took a short detour that day into what I would describe as a makeshift artifact room. Our host, Jeanette Evans, was kind enough to unroll a lot of the original blueprints for the actual Union Arcade building. Also in the room were a number of original molds that make up some of the castings that adorn the outside of the building. She told us all about it.
Isn't that cool? When I first started working here, Buzz and Dan said, "Do you want to see the mold room?" And I'm like, why would I want to go to a room? Like, I thought it's filled with mold, like, whatever. And they're like, no, it's all the original molds to a building. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes.
Okay, let's get back to our tour. Head up to the balcony through two beautiful stained glass doors at the entrance, and let's take a peek over that railing to see exactly what a patron might have seen when they were watching a play or a film from up here. There are no bad seats, and a seat in the balcony brings you closer to the beautiful details that surround you, like the beautiful chandeliers, the details in the ceiling, all the care that went into making this as close to a real theater as they possibly could. Now, without a projection booth, one might argue this could just be an assembly room, but I was assured that at one time there were projectors in the projection booth, and that at one time they did run 35mm features from that booth. And here at Classic American Cinemas, we think that classifies this as Pittsburgh's hidden movie palace.